Morning. Long time no see. Windy. Not quite as cold as yesterday in New Mexico. Today is 1 January 17th, Friday. I know I usually do these on Wednesdays. I think I'm going to stop doing that though because giving prices on Wednesday kind of gives you the nudge to buy on Wednesday when everything is at the highest price, even though the dividends drop the price the next day, which is really the better time to buy. So I may start delaying these towards the end of the week. Haven't decided entirely. We'll see. Haven't been here for a few weeks. We had the holidays. We spent some time in the hospital during the holidays. And I also worked away from here for a week or two. So I couldn't even tell you the last time I made a video. I do all these on one computer that sits here stationary. I don't take with me. So if I'm not at it, I just don't make a video. Since we spent the holidays in the hospital, I thought a little first aid refresher on vital normal values would be a good idea. In the hospital, I happened to witness a heart rate that was bradycardia. It was I don't know if it was actually bradycardia. I want to say six. I can't remember. It might have actually been high. It might have been tachycardia. Anyway, this was out of range. The respiratory rate was out of range. Blood pressure was definitely hypertensive. Body temperature was hyperthermic. And the oxygen saturation was well below 90%. So it was hypoxic. Anywho, it was a scary time. So just a thought though, I did not know. Uh, I had a general idea of a good heart rate, but I didn't know below 60 beats was bradycardic because my resting heart rate is below 60 beats. So I don't know if it's actually a problem. I think anyone who actually trains, does weightlifting and is at a reasonable weight can expect to have a lower resting heart rate than that. I don't think it's problematic to have a little bit lower than that. Over 100 is a bad deal, though. That means your heart is racing. Um, I also had no idea about respiratory rates. Blood pressure is kind of a given, but I really don't know what the scary high or low is, right? I wish this had some numbers to actually go by. But I did notice that all of the vital machines, the vital statistic machines that were monitoring in the hospital, also had a number called MAPS. And the MAPS was the difference between your diastolic and systolic, the high and the low numbers here. And I'm pretty sure I saw a chart that said a MAPS of 100 or higher was very bad. So I don't know. That would mean if you were up to 180 over 80, that would be bad. Which that feels like that's bad anyway. But I guess if the difference between your high and low is out of a certain range, even 100 seems high as a difference to me. But I I'm pretty sure that was what I saw was over 100 maps, which is the difference between the high and the low. I had to ask a nurse because I could not find that anywhere. Uh, was disconcerting to them. So, anywho, just a quick refresher on that. Let's look at our accounts. It's been a while since we checked in. Um, our K account got paid this week, $458 for the Misty, uh, 1437 for the Coney, and we had 108, about $108, $118 Buying power built up from over the last month or so that we didn't do anything. Instead of buying for this month, I mean for this week's group, since we already own a little bit of Misty, which really we probably need to build that up, but we'll wait till the next rotation when I am actually online and catch some money after these other pays. So I bought for next group, which should be group, let's see real quick. I believe it's group A is next. Yeah, Misty paid this week. So group A is next. And I went with Snow, which is another crypto backed one that seems to be holding its value. You know, it's had some peaks and some troughs, but it's kind of almost back up to original inception price, which is a good sign, and it's paying a little over $1 a share. So that's what we went with. That'll be next week's payout. It's gonna, well, we don't know. They haven't declared the payments yet, but the last one was like $1.17 or something a share. So that's what we're going with. Those are the last two payments. We did that. We did that. And fiat 928. So three of them paid out in the last 2 weeks while we were messing around. While I was messing around. And then we had $118 cash sitting in there, and I made a purchase of SNOY for next week. Next Wednesday they'll tell us what it's going to pay. This Friday we'll get paid out the actual MSTY cash will show up in our account, so that'll be sitting there next week when we look at the prices. And Monday I may look at it again and decide if I want to buy a little more. I don't know. I'll have to decide what's in there. Maybe I'll make another little amendment video if I do something. B's account is just sitting in YMAG. This week it paid him $9. Nice. And we can see that his YMAG reinvestment is actually up to $562 value. That's not bad. It's kind of kicking the crap out of us in the other account, which is basically still at the same $500. It was at 506 value and had 118 buying power, so I guess it was more like 620. I actually don't know if that's true. That number may have also been the buying power, so it may have been sitting pretty steady because of the value of the actual shares going down. YMAG has surprisingly been holding its value. It might have even gone up a little bit since we first got into it, which is pretty cool. And it pays weekly, so it's compounding faster. So I'm pretty stoked about YMAG. YMAG and YMAX are both weekly pairs, and they seem to be going back and forth between who's the high pay. One will pay 15 cents a week, and one will pay 5 cents a week, and then they'll swap out. I'm not really sure how to judge the two against each other. I like YMAG because it has the Magnificent 7 only, and YMAX has like everything YieldMax has. So it would seem that the poor performers in YMAX would be dragging it down, but looking at it, they're both basically holding value and back and forth as to how well they're paying. When they pay 15 cents, that's like 60 cents a month for a $20 a share ETF. That's not bad. That's not bad at all. So those are pretty good payers. Anyway, that's where we're at. Just a side note on the crypto. Doge is killing it. You got 200 bucks sitting there, Captain. Um, and Bitcoin is flirting. It was at 105 when I started looking at this stuff, so it's flirting around the $105 mark again after being back down to about 89 a week or two ago. So a lot of play in the cryptos right now. I had the schedule. We did K's account. Sorry. One sec, one sec, one sec, one sec, one sec, one sec, one sec. Okay. And then while we're talking about the cryptos, just a quick mention on XRP, which started out about 3 months ago at, I don't know, 50 cents, right? And it's already up to, it was just like 2.25 a day or two ago. So it went up $1 a coin in, I don't know, the last 24 to 36 hours or something. Absolutely crazy. Uh, I've heard it said it's a good buy up to $5. I don't know. None of this is advice. I don't know what the hell I'm doing anyway. Uh, but I keep throwing $1,000 at it and then selling out at like $1,100 and calling it a win. I mean, 10% in a day. I'll take it all day, every day. Uh, but who knows? When you're going to catch it, when you're going to catch it wrong. I wind up selling myself short every time because I get impatient with it. And then let's see, we can talk about the distribution. So this week, which is a little late to do anything about it, but just so you know what's coming, here's what's paying. Misty's got $2.27 this week. YQQQ is 38 cents. AMZ 40 cents. Aptly 28 cents. AIYY 37 cents. DSO 27 cents. SQY 63 cents. And SMCY $1.72. And I'm reading these out loud just in case anybody is not actually watching and just has this playing in the background. That's why I try not to leave too much dead noise or dead air, but I'm not the best at it yet. The weeklies. YMAX 11 cents, YMAG 5 cents. See, they switched. I think last week YMAG was 15 cents and YMAX was like 6 or something. XDTE, QDT, RDTE, all in the 30 cents range. RDTE is up probably like 10 cents from last week. They're all holding their, I mean, they're not absolutely holding their value, but holding it better than a lot of stuff. And I mean, this is really good, almost 1% a week payouts. That's, I really like all three of those. The Defiance, the QQQY is paying 30 cents, IWMY 29 cents, and WDTE 23 cents. These are surprisingly seem to be holding their value too. They're paying almost as well, or I mean, technically, two of them are paying better. But I think they are slowly slipping their value, and all of these had a big change not long ago. They were monthlies that were losing, had to do a reverse split. Now that they're weeklies, they seem to be holding. I'm not sure what all the change was. I'm not a prospectus digger. I don't know what any of that stuff is in there, so I just stay out of it. YBTC just recently turned weekly, definitely holding its value while Bitcoin's going out of this world, and is also paying pretty well, 34 cents for its first, I think it's its first weekly distribution. So all of those are pretty interesting. And the only reason that we'd stack YMAX and YMAG is because we can get twice as many shares as most of these, right? So if it pays 2.67%, I guess the percentage is still lower, but we can get more shares, and so I don't know, the actual money will be faster and a slightly higher, I guess. For low dollar amount accounts, up to like your first whatever, $100 a week, say, until you're making, well, until you can at least buy one share a week of one of these larger ones. I would hold off on it. Once you start clearing $50 a week, then you can start throwing a QDTT or an XDTE or whatever once a week, just buying another share, and that would be cool. Next group, like I said, I bought SNOY. So next week we're gonna have the TSMOI. I don't have the updated dividends yet. They'll do those on Wednesday. I said that already. Oh, what else we got? I am. Oh, while I have this up, I'm keeping the weeklies chart and the Group A through Group D chart for the YMAG stuff, and then all of the rest of the dingbat I'm slowly bringing into just, well, not everything, but I'm slowly at least dragging in what I'm easily tracking because they send me emails into an early month, a mid month, and an end month breakdown. If I see the mid month is large enough and regular enough that I can break it into, basically a 4 time per month payment, then I'll do that. But since the yield max groups on that 5th week month wound up, you know, adjusting enough that like Group A is no longer the beginning of the month; it's now the end of the month or mid month. Uh, they're in a different category than everything that pays basically at the same time every month. So I'm going to have those 4 separated out, and then I'll try to have everything else coming out and separated out, and then that'll basically give us 7 separate pay periods per month, which is like, we'll call that stage 2 of the dingbat there, right? And then, like I say, if it breaks down to where the mid month gets too wide and there's too much going on, then we can break that down further. But this seems the most logical thing to do currently until someone tells me otherwise or I see something otherwise. I think that's it. I don't have anything else to throw at you. I don't think nobody's watching these anyway, especially the people it was intended for. So I'll talk to you later. Good luck.